How many jalapenos can you harvest from one plant every week or so? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Welcome to the Gardenary channel. Garden plus ordinary equals gardenary. And we're on a mission to make gardening an ordinary part of your life. So thanks so much for watching. Today we're going to talk about this super simple jalapeno plant. I think it's the easiest pepper plant to grow. Maybe at least it's up there in the top 5 of the easiest plants to grow. And I'm going to show you just how prolific one plant can be, even when I hardly do anything for it. So we're going to count how many jalapenos you can harvest from one plant that's been in the garden for, this one's been in the garden for about 3-4 months. So here's number 1, and we're just going to fill up our little harvest bowl here. So I've talked about in other videos, jalapenos or peppers in general, I've found are, they're one of those plants that kind of picks up after a lot of the other plants that have been growing in that season are almost finished. So I found the magic point is really at like the 3.5 to 4 month period after they were planted. I don't know why. They'll produce a little bit of peppers at the beginning, but I find they really pick up the pace as they get to the 4 month mark. Peppers are also interesting because they're actually biennials. Biennial is a term that means that a plant could last around 2 years in the garden, especially if conditions are optimal. So that's crazy because most plants in the kitchen garden are really 3 to 4 month long plants. They only want to stay, their entire lifespan happens in about 4 months time. But peppers are unique in that they could keep going. So in a lot of our clients' gardens in Houston, where we have a very temperate climate, so you could relate to that if you're in a place like Florida or Arizona or Southern California, they keep their peppers in the garden for more than a year because the temperatures never really go to frost, and so they just end up staying in the garden over a year's time. So perhaps that's one of the reasons why they really pick up the production later on in their growth. All right, so I think we've harvested all of the peppers from this plant. As you can see, I've done like minimal care to this plant. It's just kind of been hanging in there. Oh, here's one more. So I did put a little post up to support it the other day because I realized it was starting to hang over because of all of the fruit on it. So let's count these peppers, shall we? All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, lucky 13. So 13 peppers from just one pepper plant, and I'd say it's a pretty neglected plant. I haven't really fertilized it or, cared especially for it. I've just kind of let it do its thing, and it's still producing tons of plants. So if you've never tried growing peppers, I highly recommend starting with a jalapeno variety. They're just super reliable. I found much easier and less temperamental than like a bell pepper or a sweet pepper or a larger pepper, and you can get tons of jalapenos. So you can pickle these, dry these, make some pico de gallo with these, whatever you want to do. Make some jalapeno poppers. Ooh, that's, I think, what I'm going to do with these. But I hope this inspires you to see that when planted properly in a great kitchen garden that's set up using the Gardenary method, you can get tons of production even from plants that you do very little to maintain. So 13 peppers from one pepper plant. I think that's pretty awesome, don't you? Thanks so much for watching the Gardenary channel. Be sure to take the Green Thumb quiz. It's at gardenary.com/quiz or right here linked in this video. We just have a few questions we'll ask you to help you find your current level in the kitchen garden and help you go to the next one. Thanks again for watching Gardenary. I'll see you next time.